Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Amateur Dota 2 League here between Team Undead Phoenix and Rampage City. We've got a lobby full, and here we go, underway. Looks like we had one AFK player on the side of Rampage City. They had one guy who just kind of up and left, and they're not sure if he's going to be back in time for the game to start, but they just said, you know, go, we'll do the draft, and if he's still not back by the time the draft is done, we'll just give him a pause. So that was the agreement made by the teams, and we are on our way into the draft here in the AD2L. Let's get this rolling. Load screens are always so awkward. There's nothing to talk about. Anyways. Here we go, into the game, Undead Phoenix, Rampage City. Here we go. So, Rampage City is the, technically, the away team. It took me so long to figure out how they determine that, but I guess they just assign each team a home or away when the matches come up. And the home team gets their choice of first pick or side choice. And so Undead Phoenix, who is the home team, they decided to take Dire as the side, and so first pick goes to Rampage City. So they get rid of Bristleback, Slark, and Timbersaw are the first three bans, and Rampage City, like I said, will be getting that first pickup, so they'll get to snag whatever hero they feel is most valuable to them right now. Death Prophet getting taken up by Undead Phoenix here, and the draft will start to shape up. So, for any of you who are unfamiliar with the AD2L or the Amateur Dota 2 League, how things work around here is we do a best of 2 series every weekly. So this is the Tuesday League. There is a Tuesday and a Thursday League, so games happen on 2 nights of the week. However, teams are only associated with 1 league. So on the Tuesday League, teams will play once a week, and they will play in a best of 2 series, which basically means they just play 2 games, and they get awarded a point for each victory that they take. So in the so it is important to snag every single game that you play, and this counts towards your ladder. So right now, in the this division, we're looking at Division 3 of the Tuesday League, and Rampage City has 2 points to their name, while Undead Phoenix only has 1. So if Undead Phoenix can snatch a 2-0 here, that will put them above Rampage City, and standing a little further up in their division right now. The point spread is 4-4-3-2-2-1-0-0, so I think that's 8 people in this league. Yeah, 8 teams in this division of the Tuesday League, and so neither team right at the top, but both within its grasp. If Rampage City grabs a 2-0 and Team Lucid and Power Falcons do not, they can grab themselves, you know, a much better position in this tournament here. So that's how things work around here. Whenever we get going, it's we'll be underway. So, Alchemist and Visage, the first 2 pickups here, not bans. Vengeful Spirit being picked up by Undead Phoenix as well, so they got themselves a couple of pretty nasty supports, and the Visage especially, he dishes out tons of damage, and Vengeful Spirit, a really strong lane support. She's got that minus armor, and that magic missile, which is just such a potent stun. I usually like to see her comboed with an Alchemist, though, because then the amount of minus armor is just ridiculous, and it makes Unstable Concoction just go through the roof, but I think Undead Phoenix might have been scared of that pickup coming out from Rampage City, and so they grabbed it themselves. Either way, looks like we got 4 supports picked up in the first 4 picks, so neither team really telling of their strategy is just yet, grabbing up a couple strong heroes, and we'll see their game plan start to shape up here in just a moment. Bans coming out here now. We've got the Elder Titan taken out by Rampage City, so fearing even more minus armor, which I believe is completely understandable. Yeah, so I mean, Visage, he as well will probably be picking up a medallion, which means that we do have a fair amount of minus armor on Undead Phoenix. However, that acid spray will just work the exact opposite, and both teams will just be fighting from a much squishier standpoint than previously. Cutting into the reserve time a little bit here, looking for that third ban out, deciding what they want to get rid of. Like I said, neither team too telling of their strategies right now, so both teams are just going to be looking to ban out heroes that are strong and obnoxious. There's not quite anything that I would call as a perfect pickup for either team yet, because they haven't shaped things up. So these pickups will be a lot more dependent on their usual playstyle, what they like to do and what they like to see in these games. So like I said, that's something we'll have to keep an eye out for.
Remaining.
Gyrocopter, the ban out by Undead Phoenix, so
5 seconds
just
remaining.
a lot of damage. He combos pretty well with the hard lockdown of Alchemist and Crystal Maiden, just because that Rocket Barrage will just dish out so much damage. But the OD getting taken out, I actually didn't expect him to make it through this banning phase, so we're there he goes. He is out, and one more ban left to be made. Like I said, I can't really call what this one's going to be, but
10
yeah,
seconds
just something.
Remaining.
Just kind of have to get rid of the obnoxious stuff. Something you don't want to play against, or something that you don't want to hinder your strategy. And then just get rid of the Nature's Prophet, because that split push is always incredibly obnoxious. Anyways, Undead Phoenix looking to make their third pickup here, and this is where we'll start to see things shape up for them. They grab themselves a Weaver, so a lot of mobility on their team right now. Visage is a pretty slow hero in general, but once he gets that Grave Chill off, his movement speed goes through the roof. Vengeful Spirit can swap her way in and out of fights, and Weaver just dodgy as hell. Weaver. He's going to run away. So I think both these teams having a pretty reasonable... Well, both these teams have some pretty good picks on their side right now, but like I said, no overarching strategies to be seen at this moment. Like, we haven't been seeing any of these crazy push strategies that we've been seeing out of Team Lucid, and none of these kind of absurd AoE wombos that we've seen from some other teams. It's just kind of strong pickups, strong individual heroes that hopefully will contribute to an overall good game. Kind of cutting into the reserve time a little bit, trying to hash out what they want to grab for their pickup here. Don't blame them in the least. I think this pick is probably the most important. Like I said, the first two, you know, you can make some pretty non-committal pickups with the first couple of picks, and then the third and fourth is really where your strategy and your combos will come into play. So see what they choose to nab here. Venomancer's still in the pool, though I don't think it'll be picked up by them. They grabbed the Clockwork instead, so some really good lockdown for this team as well. I think getting the Clockwork against that Weaver is really nice, because Weaver has a pretty rough time against Clock, all told. He can always time-lapse out of a cog if he gets trapped, but usually it's really hard for him to fight, especially if Clockwork has reveal, like dust or anything. You know, you hook shot, you dust, you cog, you battery assault, and Weaver's going to have a really hard time. There's not much he can do besides time-lapse, and if he does, I mean, he's blowing a big ability.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, as Undead Phoenix here looking towards their fourth pickup, spending a little bit of reserve time to get that going. I could see them going for something like a... actually, I don't know. Anything's open for him right now. Like I said, I think that Weaver will probably be heading to the offlane, so they're still looking for a carry and a mid laner. But yeah, like I said, the field is pretty much open. Like I said, not too much synergy being picked up, not too much of a you know, combo strategy, nothing, not an overarching game plan, just, you know, strong heroes that the players are comfortable with. So, you know, that can always work, and that can always backfire at the same time. They do pick up a Chaos Knight. Ooh. Okay, this is an interesting pickup, because Chaos Knight generally not run without that IO, and seeing as there are two supports on the field already, I don't think that an IO is going to be a likely pickup here. So it's just going to be a CK on his own, which does run into a lot of mana issues, and he is a little bit immobile as well. I mean, he's got enough move speed, but he's
10 seconds remaining.
Yes, all right. We'll see what happens with it.
5 seconds.
He does work
remaining.
well. Actually, no, he doesn't work well against Clockwork. I was gonna say, because the second he gets hooked, he can just Phantasm.
Reserve time.
Phantasm doesn't work because it has a long cast time. Does it actually say how long the cast time is? No, it does not. So yeah, I think the cast time is long enough that we get interrupted consistently by battery assault, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, I'm not sure how this Chaos Knight will work out for him. I think it'll be decent. I think it complements their lineup pretty well, because they don't have much strength on their side. Like, they don't have a lot of they just have the ability to avoid the enemy team, not so much the ability to stand up to them. And Chaos Knight brings that a little bit, but I think there were better choices for a carry, but who knows? We'll see. Could work out fairly well for them. I think the Visage and the Vengeful Spirit is a very aggressive lane as well, so comboed with the Chaos Knight, they might be able to make an aggressive tri-lane happen very well in their favor. However, there is a lot of control between Alchemist and Crystal Maiden already, combined with whatever they choose to pick up for their carry role, could make for a pretty ugly lane. So we could see just a really bloody lane, and they go for the Slardar, so I think Slardar is Slardar works better with farm, but he can fight if he needs to. Sprint is not exactly the greatest fighting ability. Sure, it helps you get into a fight, but means you take a lot of extra damage. He's always got the Slithering Crush and Lucky Bashes though to make a fight go his way. So I think it'll probably be a defensive tri-lane by Rampage City, but this might be countered by the aggressive of Undead Phoenix. They've got the resources to go aggressive, so I don't see why they wouldn't. Cutting into the reserve time on this last ban here. Probably looking to ban out a mid laner because that does appear to be what Rampage City is missing from their lineup. They get rid of the Kunkka, and I think that's a pretty reasonable ban. There's I mean, with the armor reduction from Acid Spray, the boat that is just such a ridiculously strong ability, and then Clockwork to set up any of Kunkka's abilities. I think that is more than justified. Puck taken out by Rampage City, so fearing that a little bit by the Undead Phoenix squad. Now they're looking for their mid laner. Both teams looking for their mid lane, and this is really unfortunate. This is where their first pick comes into play quite a bit here. Is that having first pick means that you get last pick as well. So now you get to counterpick the enemy team's mid laner because neither has chosen. So you know, Undead Phoenix automatically rules out some heroes. Like, you can't pick a Templar Assassin because she'll get countered. You can't pick something like a
reserve time.
Who can't you pick?
10 seconds remaining.
You can't pick like any really easy melee heroes. You can't pick like Pudge or Night Stalker. I mean, you could pick Night Stalker or something, but it means that you have to pick a safer mid laner because you know, Rampage City has the ability to counterpick that perfectly. So they picked a Storm, which is safe. It's hard to counterpick, and it's hard to play against for pretty much anybody. There's a handful of heroes that do fairly well against Storm, but, you know, it's that's how it goes. Anyways, Rampage City now gets to decide what they want to combat that Storm Spirit with, only having about 15 seconds left to do that with, though, as they've chewed through their reserve time quite a bit heading up to this last pickup here. Queen of Pain is okay against Storm to begin with, but he falls off, or she falls off pretty bad once Storm gets his ultimate. They do go with the Invoker instead, so they've got a little bit more of a global presence, something to help out that Clockwork whenever he gets a set of cogs off, and Invoker does fare pretty well against Storm Spirit. If Storm Spirit decides to jump in, he gets the Cold Snap and basically just forces Storm to jump back out or die. So I like this matchup. It's a pretty even one, both heroes having a good toolkit to deal with the other, but I think the edge goes to Storm a little bit in this matchup. It's not by much. Both heroes will stand their ground pretty well. We could see a kill or two out of mid lane, but I'm not sure. Anyways, it looks like our off lane is probably going to be Clockwork versus Weaver, and then I think, like I said, we're going to have an aggressive try by Undead Phoenix. I could be wrong on that. They do have a decent ganking lineup too, so it'll just be up to the teams how they play this. There's some flexibility in Undead Phoenix's lanes, and Rampage City pretty cut and dry though. They'll probably be sending that Slardar with that Crystal Maiden and the Alchemist down towards the bottom lane with Invoker mid and the Weaver or the Clockwork top. So yes, as I said, as we were getting into these picks here, the fifth player from Rampage City went AFK in the lobby and did not say anything to his teammates, and so he just took off, and so he just did the draft and said, oh, he'll probably be back by the time they finished, and he is not. So we got to pause out here, and this is going to take a little while. It will take a little bit. Hopefully he'll be back in just a moment and be like, oh my god, I'm sorry guys, but you know, it is no bueno, no way to start the game. Anyways, nobody having bought up items here, so just thanking them for the pause, being good sports about it here. As per AD2L rules, there are 3 30-second pauses allowed during a game. Beyond that, the other team is allowed to unpause freely, but I mean, in the spirit of good sportsmanship, we've never seen that happen. Teams are usually pretty damn good about allowing their their counterparts to have that moment that they need to get their shit together, and hopefully we'll see that coming out as clockwork here as we wait for him to connect. Oh man, I hate feeling time. The team's forcing me to do it all the time. No, we're not going to be ready with a lobby. Ah, why? Anyways, so bit of theory crafting to do here. So as I was saying during the draft, I have a feeling that this Visage, Vengeful, and Chaos Knight combo will probably go towards the offlane. And the reason I say that is just because they've got two really potent targeted stuns. As well, they've got the burst damage from Visage, so they can just really make one person's life hell. However, the amount of control on the enemy team is pretty substantial as well. I think the Alchemist, Unstable Concoction, the Frostbite, and the Crystal Nova from Crystal Maiden, as well as the Slithering Crush on Slardar, is going to make it really hard to really interrupt them as much as Undead Phoenix would want to. So I think generally in this position, the game plan for Undead Phoenix would have been to go aggressive and just say we're going to get in their face and smack them around a bit. But now that I've seen these picks, and I've seen this lineup, I think the better choice is to just go back to your safe lane and just leave it be. Because I don't think Rampage City will decide to go on the aggressive. I don't think they'll just suddenly be like, oh, well, we got stuns, we're going to fight this. Because, you know, in honesty, they don't have a good aggressive lane. They just kind of have heroes that can take a losing battle and turn it into a winning battle pretty quickly if you know, a good Unstable Concoction comes out or a Slithering Crush. But the abilities, like I said, Crush and Unstable Concoction, two abilities that are pretty hard to hit, you know, when you're going aggressively. Like, Alchemist needs a setup, whether that's a Bane Nightmare, whether that's a Crystal Maiden, you know, Frostbite, or whatever. He needs something to set up his stun so that he can get a full channel, hit it, and just have a really long duration on that. Now Slardar, he has to be in melee range to get his stun off, and it's really, really hard to do that without the setup. And I mean, they do have the setup, but I just don't think it's reliable enough to warrant a aggressive trial lane. However, Rampage City is going to have to make something happen pretty quick into this game here, because Clockwork, Support Alchemist, and Slardar, and even Invoker are all relatively mid-game heroes. They're at their best between 20 and 35 minutes into the game. And I think, you know, maybe 28 minutes is their absolute peak, where they're just starting to hit their big items, where their effectiveness really comes into play and they just start getting those kills. But after that, they fall off pretty steeply. I mean, Slardar does not have a good enough toolkit, really, to be trashing people at 40 to 50 minutes into this game. And especially against the lineup of Undead Phoenix, where you'll see, you know, Black King bars and you'll see maybe even like a Basher or something on the Chaos Knight. I'll probably go Assault. The Weaver, you know, getting a Desolator, a Lincoln Sphere, whatever the hell he wants. You know, these heroes are going to outcarry Rampage City pretty quickly. So as I said, I'm still suspecting that, you know, Rampage City, they're going to go safe lane, they're going to farm up for a little bit, and then at that 20 to 30 minute... Clockwork gets into the game, says, who are we waiting for? Oh, man. Anyways, but yeah, we'll see them kind of at that 15 to 25 minute mark. They'll really start to make their mark. The Wanderers 5, they'll really start to just, like, hammer on Undead Phoenix and try to push him down. And if things don't go their way, then I think Undead Phoenix will start to pull away with this game. Like I said, the Chaos Knight, the Weaver, and the Storm Spirit, three heroes that are just genuinely scary to fight against in the late game. It is terrifying to try to fight these heroes. So they're so I think late enough game, things gonna be a little bit ugly for them. Anyways, what am I looking for here? Oh, here we go. I didn't have to do that. Sorry, I'm looking at something on my other monitor right now, and things are a little bit awkward. But, anyways. Anyways. We're still waiting here. Like, Invoker called 1 minute after his Clockwork came back, so just delaying this up a bit. Oh, man. They drawing up some strats here. They're going to go for a smoke gank up towards that mid lane right off the bat. That'd be interesting. Something I have yet to see in this tournament is the mid lane courier snipe. I love to see that. It's so fun, especially in pubs. What we'll see is you'll get a support who either smokes or just casually walks up into the enemy's jungle. Come around here, and he'll just kind of chill in this area. And if you get the timing just right, because most mid lane heroes, if they farm decently, will have their bottle coming to them on the courier at about 1 minute and 50 seconds. If they get their CS right, and if they're not, if they're not getting pushed out of lane, this can be flexible, so you kind of have to pay attention to the mid lane and see how things play out. But generally, at about 1 minute and 50 seconds, they'll have their courier start walking from base to meet them. Actually, it'll probably be on its way by that point, a little earlier, minute 40. And so, if you're a good support and you have that timing nailed down, and you can wander up here. We see this a lot by Chins especially, because they can knock it down with a creep instead of having to go up there themselves. But you just sit on this cliff, and then as that courier comes, you'll walk in underneath the tier 2 tower, or underneath the tier 1 tower. You'll come in this like safe spot between the towers here, and you just kill the courier as it's coming in with a bottle. And it is so annoying if you're that enemy mid laner and you don't have your bottle, and you're in mid for 3 minutes without having any items delivered to you. It is ridiculous. And so, a good support, if you know how to do that, you can just make the enemy mid laner's life hell. And I guarantee you, if you do that in pub games, that is one way that will get your MMR shot up so quickly. Like, you will screw so many mid laners. You essentially take one hero out of the game for the first 10 minutes of the game, because they have to play catch up from losing their bottle and potentially losing their lane because of it. So, easy way to become a big impact player from a low impact role. Like I said, Chens will do this a lot, because you just have to go, you tame a creep at 30 seconds into the game or whatever, and then you just send it right up behind the enemy mid tower. You can even just hook it in behind these trees here and just have it walk out. Well, this is on the dire side, but yeah, you can just have it, walk out. And if you get the timing right, if you don't get the timing right, especially with a Chen creep, you lose a creep, whatever, screw you, just wait for your cooldown, you tame another one, and you keep going. Worst case scenario as a support, the enemy team sees you do this, they walk up, they kill you. And you give up first blood. It's kind of an ugly scenario, but I think the payoff is worth it, especially if you're smart about it. If you buy a smoke, if you walk up here, if you maybe even drop a ward a little deeper into their jungle, just so that there's no one coming to get you. On the dire side, you can do the same thing. You can hook in through the river, you can walk up here, and then you just either get in these trees here, and then you just walk out and you snipe it, or you can just hide a little bit back here. But if you're here, you're a little bit more susceptible to the enemy mid laner. You can also just run up on this cliff. This cliff is probably the best spot to do it from, because you actually have low ground vision and you can see it coming. And so a lot of people will just kind of run in around here while they're looking to check the rune and then do that. So it's not something you can be completely safe on, because if the enemy sees you with a ward that they've placed, or if their heroes spot you, you could be screwed. But it looks like we're finally going to get this game underway. Anyways, remember that timing, kids. 1 minute, 40 seconds-ish, depending on how the enemy mid lane goes. You can actually watch them and kind of count their CS, because you get approximately 45 gold per creep kill that you get. So if you just watch them, and assume that they start with a couple hundred gold because of their starting items, and then you just count 5, 6 CS, and then you realize it, and you're like, okay, they've got their bottle coming. It'll be about 15 seconds to get them to the mid lane. Alright, let's do this. So, you see 2 early smokes purchased up by both the Visage and the Vengeful... Oh, wait, where is it? Okay, they both bought it. One of them must have sold it back. Unless that was on the other side, I missed it. Oh yeah, it was the Crystal Maiden and the Visage. Okay, so I messed up my icons. I just saw a blue woman and I thought it was Vengeful Spirit. But anyways, sniggy ganks. Alright, so the Crystal Maiden and the Alchemist, this is what they were drawing out on the map here. They're going to hide up in this little nook in the trees, and they're going to wait for Storm Spirit to come up a little too far, and
30
then they're
seconds
just
to
going to
battle.
completely pop him. And with the Invoker mid lane, I mean, Invoker doesn't have any spells to throw at level 1. He's just got his Exort auto attacks. But I think between, what did Chris Maiden take? Frostbite? Yeah, she took Frostbite. Frostbite and Unstable Concoction will hold the Storm in position just long enough that I think their auto attacks will destroy him. So this is something that they've got to be worried about. Now, we do see an aggressive tri-lane. Alright, so they are going to go for it. I wasn't sure
The battle
if it's completely wise, and we might even see that. Oh, jeez, another pause. Alright. VS needs to restart. Okay. Alright. We got another delay, but that's alright. That's alright. But this gives us a little bit more to talk about, because now we see that they do have the aggressive tri-lane. So like I said, I'm not sure this is the best call still, because this tri-lane is really defensive, and it works well at kind of counter fighting a fight, if that sentence made any sense whatsoever. Essentially, I mean, when that brawl does happen, when it comes down to it, and CM frostbites somebody, and the Unstable Concoction starts charging, you know, they're gonna throw out a stun from the Vengeful Spirit, which is what, 2 seconds at level 1, 1.45 seconds. 1.45 seconds up. Wow, actually, that's a lot shorter than I thought it was. I thought it went all the way up to 3 seconds. But yeah, okay, so 1.45 seconds at level 1 stun. Chaos Knight, he only has the possibility for a... Oh, he has the possibility for a 2-second stun. So the most you'll get is 3.5 seconds of stun at level 1. While you're doing that, I mean, damage is going to fly out. You're going to have Wave of Terror. You're going to have Chaos Knight beating on people. And then at the end of it all, you'll have a Soul Assumption fly out for potentially max damage, which is 65 times number of stacks, which is 3. So you'll have about, 200 burst roughly coming out from him. So between all of that, you've got a few seconds of stun, you've got a good chunk of damage, but on the other side, you've got a fully charged Unstable Concoction that will have been charging pretty much that entire fight. It might get thrown out early, but the max stun is 1.75 seconds and 150 damage. So it does a lot. As well, you'll have Frostbite up on somebody to keep them out of the fight, probably the Visage or the Vengeful Spirit, and Slardar, if everything gets into the midst of a fight and everybody's clumped up and everybody's going for it, he'll get a good crush off and he'll start beating on people. And that alone is a 1 second stun to begin with, but it gets a lot more potent with levels. It will out-level Vengeful Spirits a lot more. So, like I said, I'm kind of just throwing numbers out here, but the way this will work is that when the fight does come to Rampage City's tri-lane, they're going to be doing a lot better. Their crush is going to mean a lot more. The Unstable Concoction is just going to do a lot better. And so I think Rampage City has the stronger tri-lane. What is he doing here? He's telling his supports to get back. Not sure what the call is here. He's drawing a... This is the Slardar, don't worry. There's no stream cheating going on. They're not like informing their team that there is people here. But it looks like the Slardar is circling the supports and just telling them to get out. And I'm not sure why. I do like this stun. It'll work really well. But what the hell? Oh, it looks like they want to gank up the offlane. Maybe? What are they drawing, man? I don't even know. I think they're just dicking around now. Yeah, this kind of looks like a really sloppy penis here. So, at first I thought they were like pulling out the strats and they were like, yo bro, we're gonna go over here, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. But no, Yellow's just drawing penises, and... oh man. Oh man. Just a second here. So guys, it will just be a moment here. Vengeful Spirit back in the game. Sorry, I had the admins messaging me, asking me some stuff here, but we are underway. Hopefully underway. Vengeful Spirit now connected, but I know Dota's a little weird and it'll say people are connected before they actually finish loading in. This happened quite a bit, but Undead Phoenix now asking for a go, and we are underway. Hopefully, time will come. Anyways. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Finally, about time. Creep waves, move into the lanes. This gank still planning on happening in the mid lane here, so we'll have to keep an eye on this. Storm just getting up into the lane, and they are looking for it. There it is, and Storm moving up really aggressively. He's, oh my god, are they gonna come? Are they gonna come? Invoker just asserting his dominance a little bit, but he's actually taking a little bit of damage. The Static Remnant comes out, and there they go. The Frostbite is out on the Storm Spirit. The Unstable Concoction flies out, and First Blood goes to Reverie of Team Rampage City. He did lose a lot of health brawling with that Storm Spirit right off the bat, but it worked out well for him because he managed to chunk Storm Spirit low enough that he could not sustain that gank, so he finishes himself off, and dang, down on the bottom lane. A lot of action going out. They charge in on that Storm Spirit, or on that Storm Spirit, up on that Slardar. Takes himself a lot of damage, but he dishes a lot back out, gets the Vengeful Spirit down really low, and now he's got his supports coming down to him, so it'll make all the difference when everything happens here. Anyways, so we do have the tri-lane versus tri-lane that I was talking about earlier, and this is it's gonna make for some interesting fights. Like I said, I think the initiation is better on the side of Undead Phoenix. However, the defensive plays are in the favor of Rampage City. So, I mean, this is where all the action's going to occur. Visage now taken off to place a ward, so it is 2 versus 3 right now, but that means that the Chaos Knight will be able to get himself a little bit more XP than he normally would. The ward does get placed aggressively up on the high ground here, and they did spot that with their own ward, so they know it's there. Sentry gets dropped, and this will get dewarded right away. Anyways, up in the mid lane there, we've got the Storm Spirit and the Invoker trading pretty evenly, as would be expected. Clockwork versus Weaver.
Not what you expected.
Clockwork versus Weaver. If he tries to Sakuchi in, the cogs go down, and that's about all there is to that story. So I don't expect anything much to happen on that lane unless one of the tiers really overextends and just tries to get greedy. But Storm Spirit finds himself a double damage rune here 2 minutes into this game, and he's gonna be sitting in a pretty good position in this mid lane despite the first blood. Like I said, I think Invoker generally beats Storm Spirit early on in the game. Oh man, we see some action going down here. Cold Snap, Sunstrike is going to fall, and oh my god, Storm gets himself killed. And yeah, like I said, early on in the game, Invoker is definitely favored in this matchup. Just because he's got a lot more utility in his kit. Actually, he doesn't have more utility, but his stats are a lot better, and Cold Snap just makes it so hard to engage on him that without the Ball Lightning to kind of jump him around and keep him safe, this Storm is going to have a hard time. But we do see a rotation by the supports here. They are smoked up and moving it towards that mid lane. So Quasar going to be looking for that stun on the Invoker, but he backs himself off underneath that tower to pick up an item off the Courier, which is going to be a salve and a pair of boots. So he's, where the hell is he going? He's hiding underneath the trees. Anyways, Storm Spirit just farming himself up now. Like I said, he's doing okay, but he's just got to play himself safe because Storm is like I said, Storm will beat Invoker later on once he's hit level 6, 7, 8, and can start to jump around with Ball Lightning and really avoid some of Invoker's crap. But it's really hard to fight him before that. Invoker has a really good level 3, 4. Storm Spirit getting another pause out here. What are we doing, guys? Oh, we get the Vengeful Spirit disconnected again. Oh boy, what a match, what a match. What a match. What a match. Man, oh man. What more is there to say, guys? I can't keep talking. I can't keep talking. There's only so much analysis to be done. I know. It's good. Let's get this open, because I forget every single game. Especially when we have one of those 1-minute pauses. I just kind of don't get into the, like, usually you start the game up, and you wait a couple moments, and then you just crack that W key, get those last hits and denies open, but I've just been slipping on that. Anyways, 19 and 8 on the Clockwork, leading up the charge. 16 and 8 on the Storm Spirit. 14 for 1 on the Chaos Knights. 13 for 2 on the Weaver, and 11 and 0 on the Slark, or on the Slardar. Slardar. Why do they have to make two fishy people whose names start with Slar? Confuses the hell out of me, but anyway, so Clockwork leading that. Oh my god, gets himself a kill on the Weaver. How do you even do that without detection? I am so confused right now. He must have burnt out the mana of the Weaver by just using his cogs enough that he was just able to cog him in. And actually, oh, that's a max rocket flare. Did Weaver just get himself a little bit too low and underestimate the damage? That could have been the case. Man, I feel really bad for missing that. But anyways, that max rocket flare actually does work pretty well against Weaver. I generally love to go max battery assault just because battery assault scales so incredibly well with levels. But up against that Weaver, it's hard to get a full battery assault off just because they'll Sakuchi out of it. So I think this is probably the right choice here. Plus the max flares will allow him to help other places on the map. Down in that bottom lane, things looking pretty stable. Slardar does now have his ring of health. Clockwork dropping a bottle on the ground there, gonna have that picked up by the courier and taken back to base. And, where is he going? Oh, action out on the mid lane. Cold Snap goes out on that Storm Spirit, but does not follow it up on, and gets Vortex back in. Flares flying down to the bottom lane, but not going to make any big impact here. Do catch the supports off. The Chaos Knight dies to a combo out here, so like I said, this is kind of that tri-lane discussion coming into play that I was talking about. Oh my god, they grabbed the Storm Spirit. Big hook in, grabs him, and 5-0 on the side of our Rampage City already. Damn, they're doing good. But yeah, so that was down on the bottom lane. That was what I was kind of talking about earlier, was that even if you choose to pick a fight, I think Rampage City has enough to shut you down that they'll be fine. So they're more than happy to take this tri-lane brawl because they are doing pretty damn well. Slardar is not farming as well as Chaos Knight is, but that kill will put him pretty far ahead in terms of gold totals. And yeah, these guys are getting zoned out quite a bit. They can't really make anything of this quite yet. They might try to go in here, but oh man, more fights going down between this Invoker and the Storm Spirit. Invoker does have the boots, which means that the Storm Spirit won't be able to run himself away completely. And he's going back in, he jumps underneath the tower, tries to ball lightning through that, doesn't manage to happen. So stand-in is not working out too well for him. Those are a couple kills that shouldn't have happened. I mean, the Clockwork, understandable, there was no wards, it was a long-range hook shot, but and that 1-minute gank, I mean, that was pretty ridiculous how that came out. But I think with that, oh wow, we've got a gank coming in here by an Invis Invoker. He's got Deafening Blast up and ready to throw out on this, and they're looking for this now. They get the Cold Snap out on the Vengeful Spirit as she's starting to run away, and they finish her off right away. Slithering Crush goes out on this Visage, and he's got no way to get himself out of this. He does Grave Chill, but that'll be the end of him. He dies. Reverie is on a mega kill streak, 5-0-2, been part of 7 of his team's 8 kills already, and this is not looking good for Undead Phoenix so far. Getting themselves served right off the bat. And like I said, this tri-lane not doing its best right here. I don't even know where they were going with this. They were just walking into the jungle here for no reason. There was no pull going on. There was no reason for them to be over there. But the Invoker coming in from behind with that Indus Rune ensured their demise. And there they go. So it's Chaos Knight not doing too well for himself right off the bat. And Weaver's actually getting his ass handed to him by this Clockwork up here. Maxing that Rocket Flare, working out really well. Oh my god, that, oh geez, that was so close. He threw out the close range hook shot, and oh, he does get the Weaver! Oh my god, this Clockwork playing out of his mind, just managing to get that Weaver in the worst of positions, gets him a close range hook shot into a cogs, which Weaver got unlucky time lapse out of, which took the damage from the cogs, and then he just gets picked off by Rocket Flare. So anyways, another brawl between the Invoker and the Storm Spirit going out here. Storm Spirit's gonna have to run himself away if he wants to live. He's trying to ball lightning away from those attacks, but he's actually taking them anyways. Invoker pursuing underneath the tower, and his stun being charged up by the Alchemist here. It is gonna land on the Storm Spirit, and he is toast yet again. Storm Spirit dies one more time, 5 deaths on him already in a 10-0 game. This is just not looking good for them right now. Top tier 1 goes down to that Clockwork right now, and Ghostwalk away is the Invoker. So really unfortunate beginning for an Undead Phoenix. They got the shitty end of a lot of engagements here, and just nothing quite going their way. Stun getting charged up here by the Alchemist, and they're going on to this Chaos Knight, and oh, Frostbite, Sunstrike, and he is toast. Another kill up on this Invoker. 7-0-2. He's got his drums already, and I mean, he can start looking towards whatever he wants. Clockwork gonna find himself a regen rune here to bottle up. Throws a hookshot in, but it's a little bit too short. Wasn't quite paying attention to the range on that. Doesn't manage. Actually, what the hell? What happened to that? He was standing right here, and the hookshot only went to like here. That should have hit for sure. Can you click hookshot short? I don't think you can click it shorter than it goes. That's weird. I don't know, man. I don't know. But going out on the Storm again, he's going to ball lightning himself away from this, and he just can't stay in this lane. They're going to turn around. They're going to try to get this Invoker, and with the Visage there, they might actually manage to do it, but the Sunstrike lands, does a lot of damage, and Storm just going to barely survive. Rocket Flare coming in now, but ball lightning's down to the corner, and he is going to survive for now. Not going to find himself a rune. Yeah, I think he's going to look for it, though, in just a moment here. They do have a ward up to spot that. But he is given a salve and has a couple bottle charges, so he's back in mana for now. It's Rocket Flare flying up towards the top lane, going to explode onto that Weaver, chucking him down for a little bit of health, and Weaver not doing too well himself. Only 33 last hits to the Storm's 39, the Slardar's 42, and the Clockwork's 56. Not often that you see Clockwork on top of the CS board. That is a pretty rare occurrence. Anyways, down on the bottom lane, Slithering Crush goes out. Oh my god, big fight in the middle again. Invoker grabs himself a kill on that Weaver. Oh my god, that was just Rocket Flares and Sunstrikes. What? This Weaver just getting poked down little bit by those level 4 rockets, and a Sunstrike flies out and finishes him off. Oh my god, that has to just sting. Oh my god, I feel so bad for Weaver. I've been in that boat before. I know what it feels like, and just no good, no good. Anyways, pressure on this tier 1. They're really looking for this. 2 smoked up heroes moving in towards this tower. And are they going to catch this Storm Spirit? They do. Crystal Nova. Actually, he can fall lightning out of that. Really? Okay. Anyways, they're looking for it. Oh, he's got to throw that stun. He stuns himself in the bush, and he might be able to turn this around. Stun goes out on the Slardar, but it doesn't matter. Meteor falls. It does a lot of damage. And this, oh man, this bitch just copped a lot of damage. Falls himself. Double kill goes out for this Invoker yet again. What is he at now? He is at 10-1-2. Not even 12 minutes into this game. Invoker is on fire. What a player.
Is under attack.
Trying down this tier 1 tower, and I don't think there's going to be anything to stop him from this right now. They've got the Forged Spirit up and ready. Storm's going to try to interrupt this, but he just gets crushed, and he's toast. That's it. Oof, man.
Dire's middle tower
he just can't do anything. They're just getting caught at every single corner, and
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
That's really unfortunate.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Anyways, up on the top lane, Weaver just trying to farm up, get himself some semblance of items, and a Rocket Flare's flying his way again, so there he, oh, Scoochie's off to the side shop so he can pick up his Ring of Health and get the hell out. I don't blame him, feeling a little bit unsafe as the mid lane is left. So he does dodge a Rocket Flare, get himself out to safety, but some crazy stuff, man. Anyways, Slardar farming himself up pretty well right now. He's got himself some int treads so that he's got all that mana, and he's got his Vanguard up right now, which is the big thing. Medallion of Courage up on the Alchemist, which means a lot more minus armor. Crystal Maiden working towards a mechanism for herself. Got the Buckler already. Drums up on this Invoker, and curious what he's going to go for with this Ring of Health. Is he going to just go for like a fast refresher or something? That'd be pretty hilarious. I don't think there's any point to getting a refresher without having the Aghanims on Invoker yet, but I don't know. What else can you buy with that? You buy a Lincoln Sphere. Actually, I'll probably go for Lincoln. There's a lot of single target abilities on the enemy team, from Soul Assumption to Vortex to Chaos Knight Stun and Magic Missile. So Meteor flies out. Oh my god, so much damage. Gonna finish off that Vengeful Spirit, and the Rocket Flare comes in and picks off that Chaos Knight. So, oh my god, such a level advantage, just equating to so much more damage on the side of Rampage City right now. 17-1 your kill score only 13.5 minutes into this game. Forge Spirit's getting dropped out here by the Invoker as they push in. He does not have the level 2 Forge Spirits because he did choose to go for that 1 point in Wex early on, and so he will not have that pushing power quite yet. But yeah, I mean, Undead Phoenix at this point, with the early disadvantage that they have, are really going to have to make this work. Storm TPing in, going for a huge range jump, but not quite getting it. He does get a max range Vortex, and it looks like they're going to pick this Slardar off. Oh my god! He's taking so much damage! That Vanguard doing work. He runs himself into the trees. He's going to blink himself away, and they can't find him! Oh my god, Sunstrike goes out, hits that Storm Spirit, and he's going to sway them from getting away. That Slardar dropped himself down to 30 HP, and that Vanguard just doing work. Anyways, they're looking for kills now. The Clockwork runs in. The Battery Assault is going to... well, maybe not. The Battery Assault was doing damage, but it's finished off, and the Chaos Knight is going to drop to Crystal Maiden. Man. So many things just going so wrong and so many points here.
Players here.
And it was Rocket Flare flying back to base. Gonna catch anybody. It does hit the Vengeful Spirit, but she's already healed up, so won't mean much. This Weaver's gonna have to farm like a friggin' madman, dude. He's gotta just like maximize his efficiency. Hit hit the lane, creep wave, run into the jungle, kill it off. Oh my god, Sunstrike hits him, takes him for more than half of his life. 850, actually less than half of his life. 850 down to 450, but 400 pure damage. What level is Exort right now? Exort is almost maxed. It is level 6 right now.
Dire's bottom tower.
Bottom tier 2 goes down, and let's see, what is Sunstrike with? Yeah, 412 damage, and that is pure, so it is not negated by magic resistance or armor. And Slardar looking for that Weaver there. He Sakuchis himself away, going to be a bit of a sneaky snake, and Sunstrike way off the mark, flying off to the right, and Slithering Crush flies out. It's going to miss him, and yeah. Weaver going to continue his way off and manage to get away from that. Got a Rocket Flare flying out towards that bottom lane, going to chunk off that Vengeful Spirit. This is so annoying, man. Like, on cooldown Sunstrikes and Rocket Flares just whittling away at your entire team. This means that they have to go back to base like 2 times more than they normally would every single game. Chaos Knight doesn't even have a Bracer. He's got himself Power Treads, a Magic Wand, and a Stout Shield. This could not be worse for them right now. Oh, Sunstrike, where did that go? What the hell? Oh, no, where'd the Sunstrike go? Mr. Sunstrike. Anyways. Looking back towards those EXP graphs, almost 10k in the way of Rampage City in terms of EXP, and over 10,000 gold in their favor as well. So just doing work right now. Anyways, smoked up and an Indus rune found by the Clockwork, and they're going to look for a gank. They do spot out that Storm Spirit with that Rocket Flare, and so the pings come out. They want to find him. They want to kill his ass, and here it goes. Clockwork moving in. He's going to spot out that Storm, but he misses the hook shot. Storm should ball lightning away right the hell now. If he gets caught, oh my god, ball lightning so close, he gets away. The Alchemist stuns himself, and he is going to be fine for now. Oh man, flirting with death there. Flirting with death. Hanging out on that Weaver now. They want to catch him. He's flirting with death himself. He's playing a little bit too far up, and he does have the Kuchi available. He does get the minus armor on him, which will reveal him, so he's got nowhere to run, really. He's just got to try to get away from this. Sunstrike is going to land on him, and he's got no help. He's going to time-lapse back away, and manages to do so before they minus armor him, but a sentry goes down, the Crush lands, and Weaver dies yet again. 4 deaths on him, and he just can't catch a break. He does have the 3rd highest CS in the game, so he's doing alright with his farm, but just things not going his way. Not going his way at all.
Dire's top tower is under
Rocket Flare flying in the jungle, spotting out that Chaos Knight, and Hookshot is off cooldown. Oh my god, what a hook! Manages to catch him as he retreats, and I mean, there's nothing gonna happen there. He dies. 21-to-1 your kill score. Looking for that Storm Spirit. He ball lightnings away, and Sun goes out on the Aqua. It doesn't really matter at this point. 20 kills up, 17 minutes in. This is absurd. This is absurd. Oh jeez. Tower going down. Now only one outer tower remaining on the side of Undead Phoenix. There's not much more to say about the game, man. They had hopes for the late game. They had a really solid tri-core, but just got shut down so early by all these cool maneuvers by RC. Like I said, they had that level 1 gank, which was really effective, and then when they moved down towards that tri-lane, it actually helped them out quite a bit because, like I said, Undead Phoenix had a decent tri-lane, but I just don't think it stood up to the amount of control that was on the side of Rampage City, and that just proved itself. Every time that Undead Phoenix tried to fight, it got turned around for 2 or 3 heroes, and it just kind of snowballed from there. Every single lane was won, even the Clockwork demolishing the Weaver. That's something you don't see often. Like, usually those two trade pretty well. Weaver has the range harass, but Cogs can fly out, kind of burn his mana and his health a little bit, and it just kind of goes back and forth pretty passively. But Clockwork just maxing those rockets, chunking down the Weaver with a slow health pool, and eventually just finishing him off. It's pretty unfortunate, but anyways, Roshan's gonna fall really quickly. That amplified damage on the Slardar is just gonna need so much, and we've got the Aegis the Immortal going to the Alchemist. Why the hell not? And pushing in towards tier 3s now. Not a single outer tower remains, and not a single outer tower lost for Rampage City. Visage finally acquired himself level 6 and will now have his birds up for this next fight. Still not sure if that'll matter, but you know, anything can happen. Moving in towards the tier 3, Forge Spear is chunking this tower down a bit. Still, this Invoker's been part of a lot of team fights, which means that he hasn't gotten a lot of levels. He's the same level that we checked in on him last time after he got those couple kills in mid, and means that he hasn't increased his ranks in Quas, which means he only has single Forge Spirits, but thrown on that Alacrity for that bonus damage. Now, oh my god, 99 plus 175, you do the math, folks. I failed high school math, and you know, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, sitting on that Meteor Deafening Blast combo, so just tons of damage. Invoker looking at the Lincoln Sphere now, so he will have that up in a moment. Like I said, that's probably a pretty smart call considering the amount of single target spells on the side of Undead Phoenix. Does have that now, and the courier just brought it to him, so. On the bottom lane, Clockwork just farming himself up a bunch. He's got himself a Blink Dagger and an Aghanim, which is a little bit interesting. I don't see the Blink Dagger too often on Clockwork, especially when he has the Aghanims, because I mean, it's an 8-second cooldown on your hook, so you can hook into a fight and then you can just hook right back out of it. Nothing really stopping you, but jumping forward here, the Chaos Knight was not in that smoke, which means that the Rocket player saw him and Clockwork retreats. That's really unfortunate. You gotta be ready for that. Alchemist coming into this, charging up his stun, throws it out. He doesn't have any support quite yet, but he is just so tanky in and of himself, and he's got the Aegis. He does get cogged in with that Weaver and the Clockwork. The Aegis gets popped here. Storm Spirit is trying to make something happen, but he just runs himself into the trees and tries to TP away, as there is not much you can do here. This Chaos Knight walking away with very little health. We'll see if any of these global abilities manage to pick him off as he runs away. He's taking the roundabout way back to base, which I do like. You got to be really wary of those Sun Strikes as they come in. The Rocket Flare flew into mid, and so I think Chaos Knight is going to be fine for now. So, actually, surprisingly, not bloody engagements. Not a single hero dying in all of that.
Here I am.
Anyways, stun getting charged up, hits on the Storm Spirit, and Frostbite goes out. They do manage to finish him off before it goes down. The Vengeful Spirit disconnects again, but you know, I don't even know if they're going to bother pausing, because things are just getting so crazy here. The Lincoln Sphere is broken on the Invoker, and so stunned up for a moment, but he's too tanky. They can't finish him off. Blink in, Cogs go down, and they're trying to make this fight happen. Vincent drops really quickly. Storm Spirit's already out of this fight. Alchemist actually died in all of that, but the blink forward by the Slardar finishes off the Chaos Knight, and looking to try to get this Weaver, but he scooches away and will manage to escape from this, unless the Sunstrike falls. No, he's fine. Yeah, it's a cooching around in base just to make sure that that doesn't happen. So 24-2, your kill score, as Rax fall 22 minutes and 50 seconds into this game. Oh man, Crush ahead, looking for something, but not quite going to happen. Meteor falls, evaporates that Vengeful Spirit. Her health just disappeared in a moment. Oh my god, that was terrible for her, but
Dire's bottom
there it
barracks are under
goes.
attack.
25-2, 23 minutes in. Weaver trying to do what he can, but
has fallen.
not enough.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Storm Spirit jumping in. They're looking for that Invoker. They do get the Vortex off. Just damage is not enough. Soul Assumption flies out and it was close, but doesn't manage to finish him off. Chaos Knight jumping into that with the Reality Rift, but still not managing to finish off that. Oh, man, he might get. Yes, he does get the Crystal Maiden. That was a 400 gold kill on a support. And the Clockwork teleports, hooks back in, grabs himself a Visage, and this Chaos Knight is not long for this world. Gets himself finished off and just running back to base. 2 heroes down. Swapped out his Dimensional Spirit. He dies as well. Storm making his way back to base. Man, things are just not going their way right now. GG is called by Undead Phoenix, and I don't blame them one bit. They just got slapped around from minute 1 here, and that's it. That is gonna be it.
Victory.
There we go. So game 1 goes to Rampage City, the Radiant side of the map, and we'll get the next lobby up for you guys in just a moment here. Please stay tuned, and I'll just throw up an overlay, and we'll be back in just a moment. Thanks, guys, for watching.